Right, I think we're going to make a start. So good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. Today's webinar is provided by Education Digital Services and Groupcall Messenger. Today's session will be delivered by Groupcall, and running the session today will be Scott. My name's Amanda Steyen. I'm a Business Relationship Manager within Education Digital Services. If you have any service or SLA questions, please don't hesitate to contact us on the usual 0300 number, or by emailing educationdigitalservices@lancashire.gov.uk. Each school has been allocated a business relationship manager, so if you don't know who yours is, please ask. Finally, this session is being recorded, so please ensure all microphones and cameras are turned off, and please use the questions function to the bottom left of your screen to ask any questions. There will be a short question and answer session at the end, so that's it from me, so I'll now hand over to Scott.
Fantastic, thank you, Amanda. Welcome everybody. My name's Scott. I'm part of the training team at the Groupcall Messenger company, and what we're going to do today is going to take you through a general overview on the Groupcall Messenger system. So I'm going to show you a few of the basic features on how to send out messages and how to look at certain things, and also go into a couple of sort of pointers for existing users on features that you might not be aware of. As Amanda mentioned, you have the ability to ask questions during this webinar, so please feel free to do so, and we will do our best to answer them during this webinar. At the end, we'll have another look to see if there's any more questions. If there's anything that is asked that we can't answer on this call, then don't worry, we will reach out to you individually afterwards. So what we'll do is I'm going to go into a demo account for our Groupcall Messenger system, and when you very first sign into the Groupcall Messenger system, this is the screen that you're going to see. So it's just the home page, and what you will see is we've got a menu down the left hand side with various options, and then we've got some Wizards and subscriptions going across the top here. Now, the Wizards and subscriptions that you will see will depend on what you are currently subscribed to. So the default ones will be for quick messaging and absence messages, but we have others for other products that Groupcall offer, such as the Parents' Evening system and a Forms module, which is used for creating sort of digital forms for parents to fill in. If you want to know anything more about these products in particular, please let us know, and we'll be happy to sort of do like a one-on-one demo with you and give you more information as well. So when it comes to sending out messages through Groupcall Messenger, it's really, really easy. There are two ways that you can do it. We have a quick messaging function, which is on the Wizards, and then we have an advanced messaging feature, which is on the left-hand menu. So we'll take a quick look at the quick messaging function. And in here, you have a few different options. So you have the option to send a whole school alert. You have an option to email all parents. You have the option to send a group message, which is to perhaps just a specific year group or a class. And then an individual message is used for sending messages out to individual students or contacts. So just take a quick look at one of them, look at the whole school alert. And what it will do with the quick messaging function for the whole school alert is it will just walk you through each step of the way. So the first step is the system will ask you who do you want to send these messages out to. So you'll have the option for all of your primary parents, which is all of your priority one contacts for your children. Then you also have the option to send the messages to all parents, which is any parent with parental responsibility in your management system. Also have the ability to send messages to staff members as well. And if you have contact details in for students, then you can send to students as well. So we'll just go with all primary parents and staff. And then we go to the next step in the bottom right. Then it will ask you how you want to send the message out to these people. Now, by default, the ones that you'll have access to will be to send by email, SMS, and you will also have the ability to send by Expressions. Expressions is the app that Groupcall Messenger uses, and it is for the parents to have on the mobile phone, and you can then send messages to parents via Expressions. These are always a good way to contact parents because the Expressions messages are sent via the internet, so it's sent via our app, so they're nice and quick to get to the parents, and also they are non-chargeable messages as well, so it just helps you save a little bit of money in terms of how many SMS messages you might be sending to parents usually. If you don't have access to Expressions within the account that you have with us already, let us know. We can look at getting that set up for you. Other options here would include voice messages. These are extras which you can purchase and use, and these are basically voice messages that go to the mobile phone or to the home phone number or work, depending on what you want to do. You've then got a preference as to whether you want to send this message out once per parent or for each student-parent combination. Depends on the message that you're sending, but once per parent will just go out to the parent once, even if they have siblings at school. Whereas if you were to choose the each student parent combination, those that do have siblings, they will get a message for each child that they have in the school. So go to the next step, and then it's here that we can choose the kind of message that we want to send. Now, if you are sending a message via either email or the Expressions app, you can choose to add an attachment to that message as well. And then you can either select from general templated messages, which are in sort of categories here, or you can choose to write your own message. So we're going to go with write your own message, and we'll go to the next step. And then it's here that you can compose the message. So if you are sending an email or an Expressions message, it's just here that you can upload the attachments. And then underneath is where the content of the message would go. And you will simply type in your message there. We also have these things called tokens in Groupcall Messenger. You'll see them over here. And these tokens are kind of like mail merges. When you select one of them, such as student forename, you'll see that that token then appears in the message. And when this gets sent out to all of the parents, the system will insert the child's first name into the message there in place of the token. All kinds of tokens available for you in here. So feel free to obviously experiment with those. And then once you're happy with this, we go to the next step, and it will just give you a final summary of everything that we've done so far. Now, sometimes you might see a message at this stage, just here, where it says about some of the parents not having English as their home language. And if you ever see that message, then what you can do is scroll down, and you'll see an options button. What you can then do is you can choose to translate this message using Google Translate. So in other words, it will go out to each parent in their home language. And this is all based on what you have stored in your management system as to what their language will be. If you do choose that, you can then also choose to send the message in English as well. Just bear in mind that that will send 2 messages out to the parent, because it'll have one in their home spoken language and one in English as well. Also, from the options, you can schedule the message to be sent at a later date and time if you wanted to. And once you've selected whatever options you want from here, you would just hit apply. And then when you're happy with everything in this page, you just click on send, and away the message goes. So that's the quick messaging tool. So it's short, sweet, and it walks you through each step. The other option that we have is our advanced messaging feature, which is over on the left-hand menu here. So when you go into advanced messaging, you will see this page here, and everything on advanced messaging we've already seen within the quick messaging tool. So as an example, with quick messaging, we chose whether we wanted to send to all primary parents or all parental contacts, and that's this drop down just here. Also, you can choose how you want to send the message out via this send via tick boxes across the top. So we've got email, SMS to mobile, expressions. Okay. And then on the left hand side, you will see the address book. Now this will all be based on what we are importing from your management system at school. So you can simply choose, say for example, year, and you'll look at all of your year groups, select a year group, and it will pull all of the students across onto this sort of right hand section just here. So one other thing that you can do from the advanced messaging section is you can actually create your own groups. So for those of you that use our messenger system already, you may or may not know how to do this. But what you can do is, if I discard this and start again, in the top left hand corner there's a search box, and in here you can search for contacts, and you can start building up a little collection of contacts in this top section here. Once you've got all of the students in question, just here there's a button that says add to recipient, and it pulls them across into this bottom section. So then what you can do is you can click on save group, you can give the group a name, and then you can submit that group into the system. This means that the next time you are selecting to send a message to this group, rather than selecting those contacts one by one again, you can simply scroll down and go into the saved groups section, and you'll be able to find your group in there. Okay. Also from here, you can right click on a group, you can edit the membership of the group, and it's just a simple case of dragging and dropping people from one side to the other. Alternatively, you can right click on a group and delete them. So what we'll do is I'm going to now select that year group again. Okay, you'll have to forgive me at the moment, guys. This is our demo account. Sometimes it does stall on us because there's a lot of data in here. There we go. So once you've got those selected that you want to send a message to, we simply go to the next option in the top right hand corner. And then it's on this page that we can then compose the message. So if you've selected to send out via multiple methods, so for example, we selected to send out via SMS, email and expressions on the previous screen, what you can do is you can start typing your message here. And above, you'll see that we're currently composing the SMS message because that's highlighted in green. Then if you want to compose the email message, you simply click onto the email from here. If you want the content of the email to read the same as the SMS that we just typed out, you can have this box ticked, and it will just use whatever you've typed in for the SMS. If, however, you want to compose the email slightly differently, uncheck that box, and then you can start typing out the email. We've got the HTML editor and all of your normal formatting tools for your email as well. And then just here, you can choose to attach the file as well. Then, if you go for expressions, you can do the same thing. Again, because this is our demo account, there's no one set to receive the expressions at the moment, but it will look the same as the email message that was just there. Okay, so again, you can add an attachment to it, and then you can compose the message that goes out to expressions as well. If you don't want to type your own message, on the left-hand side, we have a message library, which will contain all kinds of templated messages that you can use and send out to the parents. So if we look at the general category, and if we go for match cancelled, there we go. And you'll see that it just inserts a templated message in there, again with tokens. On the subject of tokens, if you want to add your own in, all that you have to do is when you are typing out your message, you right-click with your mouse, and the tokens are categorized for each subject. Something else that's worth bearing in mind for those of you that use Groupcall Messenger already is that there are 3 kinds of messages that you can send out via advanced messaging at this stage. In the top left, you will see that it says broadcast, open, and closed. Now, a broadcast message is a one-way message. Okay, this is for you to send out to the parents, and you will not be getting any replies from the parents for it. Alternatively, you can choose to send an open message. If you send an open message, this means that parents can reply, and they can reply with whatever they want. The third option is that you can send out a closed message, and a closed message is like it's a limited reply, but it's like a mini survey. To give you an example of this, we will go for a template in the closed messages. And as you can see here, the template now says, are you attending Parents' Evening for student forename? Reply 1 for option 1, 2 for option 2, or 3 for option 3. So the parents will only be able to reply with 1, 2, or 3, and what those options display to the parents depend on the options part just here. Okay, so this will now make a little bit more sense. So it's basically saying, are you attending Parents' Evening? Reply 1 for we will be there, 2 for we won't be there, or 3 for we will be late. And you can customize these options as well. So as I say, a closed message is like a mini survey that you can use to collate information from parents. So once you're happy with everything here, we would then simply go to the next in the top right hand corner, and then this will just give you a final summary of everything that you've done. If you want to see what the message will look like, then you can simply click on the preview messages live option. It will pick somebody from the list of recipients and show you what it will look like for their parent. and you'll see the messages just here. And then finally, you can choose if you want to send the messages now, if you want to send them instantly, or if you want to send at a specified time, you can then choose a date and a time, and you can schedule the message to go. So that's how to send our messages through the system. So we've seen quick messaging, we've seen advanced messaging. Now there's one more thing that I would like to show you with advanced messaging, which a lot of people aren't aware of, and that is the attendance feature within Groupcall Messenger. So Groupcall Messenger will import attendance from your management system every day, and then you can use that to send out messages to those that have been absent. To do this, on advanced messaging, in the top left-hand corner, there's a little tab for attendance. This will then tell you the last time your attendance was updated. Now, typically this will update every hour. Again, forgive the demo account, it is a little bit out of date. So every hour your attendance will update. What you can then do is you can select one of these options. So for example, we'll go absent no reason. What this will then do is it will ask you to choose a date range to look from and to. And what you'll do is you would click search. It will then bring up a list of students that you've marked down in your MIS as to whether they've been absent with no reason. And what you would do is there would be a button that says select and continue. This will then add those students to the recipient list like you saw earlier on. So all that you would then do is you would go to your next step, and you can then send out a message to those parents regarding the absence. Again, on the next step, there is the ability to choose a templated message for absence. I will just show you what that looks like. And you'll see the absent message category here. And here we are. Okay, so this is quite a good feature for advanced messaging, is the fact that we do import the attendance so that you can then select those children and send them out a message requesting the parents to let you know why their child was absent. So some of the good features with the system is that you can look back on your history of messages that were sent. So we have a history section here. You can look at the history of messages sent today, yesterday's or the last 7 days, or you can just look at all of the history. This will then show you a list of the messages that were sent out through the system. It will show you which user sent those messages out as well. So if you have multiple users set up within the school, then it'll tell you which one of them sent that message out to the parents, and then it'll just give you like a message count as to how many messages went out via each method. What you can then do is you can click into one of these messages, and it will then give you sort of a breakdown of everybody that it was sent to, and you will be able to see the status of that message as well. So for example, you will be able to see this one was a message sent out regarding absence, and as you can see, the parent has responded, so you'll be able to see that from here as well. SMS status says replied, meaning that they have, and the expressions message has been created, so it means it's been created and posted onto the app. Along with history, you do also have an incoming folder. So if you send out either open or closed messages to parents, then you will get some responses back into this incoming folder, which will contain all kinds of responses. And what you can do is when you are looking at these responses, you can click onto one, and it will then show you a conversation thread, like a message history, between the school and this particular parent. So the little building icon is the school sending messages, and then the initials are the parent responding. Good thing from this as well is that you've got a little cog icon on the right hand side, which when you click onto it, you can add a reply. And then you can simply send a reply straight back to the parent again. Okay. Finally, for those that have access to it, you will see that there is a metrics section in Groupcall Messenger. In the metrics section, we've got a usage report, which will give you a daily breakdown on the activity that's been going out through the system. So how many messages have been sent out via each method. You also have a current year SMS usage, which will give you a breakdown of how many SMS units you have used within the system. So SMS units are purchased from ourselves at Groupcall, and you can then sort of go through those at your own pace. Obviously, every time you send an SMS message, that consists of units. So this will just be how many that you are spending on each month. If you are wanting to sort of reduce the amount of units and SMS messages that you are sending, then I would encourage you to send more emails to the parents, but also to get them using the Expressions app. Because the Expressions app, it's very much similar to receiving an SMS message, but it's an in-app notification. So it's a free way of messaging, which will reduce the amount of, reduce how quickly you go through the SMS units that you have. So it'd be a good way for you to keep costs down. Finally, in the metrics section, we have data quality reports. For those of you that already use Messenger, you may have seen these before, but you can run a report for various things in the system. This is quite good for you to be able to check that the data that we are receiving from your management system at school is coming across all correctly. You can run a report for contacts that are missing an email address in the system, contacts that are missing a mobile number, and even those that have a malformed email address or phone number. You can also run a report for those that have never used Expressions, which is quite good because then you can target those parents and encourage them to download that app as well. What you would do for this is you would run the report, you hit send, and what this will do is it will then create a group within advanced messaging of those that fall into that category. And you will see that we've got a little section here for data quality, and then here's the reports that we ran. Okay, and then when you select one of those reports, it will gather those parents, those contacts over on the right here. Okay, good thing with this is you can then export it to Excel so that you can chase those parents up for a valid email address, check it within the MIS, make sure it's there. Alternatively, you can just proceed to send them a message asking them for that missing piece of information. Last thing that I'd like to show you is for those that already use the Groupcall Messenger system, obviously if you do have any questions, any support queries that you want to get in touch with us about, the best way to do that is you can log a ticket through the system itself. And to do that, you go to the help section, which on the home page is just here. And then you click on contact support. Now here there is a phone number that you can call for our support team at the top, but also you can fill this small form in with the subject of your query and then all of the information you want to send to the support team. And then all you do is you just make sure that your email address is filled in here just in case the support team needs to reply by email, and then you hit submit. That creates a support ticket for our team. They will either respond to you by email depending on the query, or they will just give you a call to talk it through. That's everything that I've got to show you this morning. So what I'll do now is I will pause. If anybody has any questions at all, please feel free to send them through. Other than that, that's everything that I have to show you for today. So thank you very much. And I will hand back to Amanda.
Thank you all for attending today. I hope you found today's session very useful. If you do have any questions after today's session, you can either ask them through the help system that Scott's just mentioned, or if you don't already subscribe to Groupcall, you can email us at educationdigitalservices@lancashire.gov.uk and we'll try our best to help you.